This is just a sample of the audiobook. To get the complete audiobook, access the link posted in the first comment.
According to many myths, we became truly human only when we acquired fire. So it is natural to assume a parallel awakening for the place we inhabit. Rather, the Earth likely simmered through more than 4 billion years before its biotic broth boiled over. Some of fire's components the ancient Earth acquired only after long eons. Even more critically, those ingredients needed a durable context in which to mingle. The parts had to combine and do so consistently. Combustion has its creation story. Fire has its history. Of fire's 3 essential elements, only the heat of ignition thrived on the early Earth. Oxygen did not begin to collect until the last 2 billion years, and did not approach modern quantities until roughly 500 million years ago. Land plants suitable to carry combustion did not become abundant until 400 million years ago. Before that time, the Earth lacked the means to burn regularly or vigorously. It is possible that aquatic biomass might have burned, if a lagoon or marsh dried, or storms hurled kelp or algal mats into deep berms where they dried, met lightning or lava, and combusted. But such burns, if they occurred, would little resemble modern fires, and are ecological freaks, never absorbed or ordered within a biological community. Earth's original fires, its colonizing fires, demanded land plants. Probably these consisted of primordial moors, a matrix of near-shore organic peat and reeds. Fires probably first flickered during the early Devonian, roughly 420 million years ago. The most ancient fossil charcoal dates from that epoch. Since then, fire's evolution has been unending, if uneven. Each of combustion's components has existed more or less distinctly from the others, colliding from time to time with a fizz of oxidation or a brilliant burst of burning. But combustion could survive only if it had a consistent and durable context. Over time, fire became itself a synthesizing process, a kind of biochemical flywheel that has helped to balance its separate parts into a coherent whole. It has affected the chemistry of the atmosphere. It has influenced, perhaps profoundly, the character of life. Progressively, the biosphere has absorbed fire and tweaked it to fit a system of biological checks and balances. This was easiest with oxygen and fuel, both the products of life. The absorption of ignition proved more vexing, and had to await the arrival of creatures who could make sparks and heat as easily as they could drill bone and chip flint. Those creatures, of course, were ourselves. How fire came to be, casting sparks. Combustion requires a spark. It needs a jolt of energy to unpack photosynthesized matter, to set off a chain reaction that can release enough surplus energy through oxidation to continue. The early Earth offered several sources: falling rocks, volcanic discharges, extraterrestrial impacts, and lightning. After dead biomass collected in heaps, spontaneous combustion was selectively possible. And after fossil fuels were exposed, coal fields, petroleum seeps, and oil shales could take fire and hold it for centuries, even millennia. But of this geophysical exotica, only lightning is sufficiently consistent and universal to account for the natural history of fire. Volcanoes are a faux fire, but they have the capacity to kindle real ones. Flowing lava instantly burns what it touches. Eruptions often spawn thunderstorms, which hurl down lightning like volcanic bombs. But while widespread across geologic time, volcanoes are fixed in geographic space. Moreover, volcanic kindled fires burn locally. Lava or ash covers the burns, as often as not, and one way or another the overall disturbance of the volcano smothers the effects of the fire. In brief, volcanoes are too few, too small, too rare to account for the near universal realm of fire. Most of the burning Earth is far removed from spark-casting volcanoes. That leaves lightning.